Hello everyone, and welcome to a new video from Via Doctus, where we will explore some of the most astonishing prehistoric animals that have ever existed throughout Earth's history. Scientists estimate that more than 99% of the species that once inhabited the Earth are now extinct. Some of these creatures were truly formidable, and we could hardly imagine them today if not for the fossil records that prove their existence. Without further ado, we present to you 10 amazing animals that lived on our planet in the past. Let's start with number 1. The Glyptodon was a gigantic armored mammal related to modern armadillos, although it differed significantly in size, measuring about 10.8 feet in length, 4.9 feet in height, and weighing more than 2 tons. This animal inhabited South America, with fossil evidence found in Argentina, Uruguay, Paraguay, Bolivia, Peru, Brazil, and Colombia. This remarkable creature lived during the Pleistocene epoch, about 2.5 million years ago, until it became extinct in the early Holocene around 11,000 years ago. Some experts have suggested that humans contributed to the extinction of glyptodonts, as some specimens show signs of having been hunted by humans. Additionally, it's been speculated that the humans who hunted them might have used their large shells as shelters against harsh weather. This impressive herbivore would have grazed near water sources such as rivers and lakes, protected by its sturdy, rounded, bony shell, which was covered by more than 1,000 plates, each about an inch thick. Unlike turtles, this animal could not retract its head inside its shell, though it had a bony shield on top of its skull for protection. Similarly, some experts believe its tail was very flexible and had rings of bony plates, allowing it to use its tail as a weapon during fights with other males or to defend itself from predators. This remarkable mammal bears a superficial resemblance to species like turtles or ankylosaur dinosaurs, providing a striking example of convergent evolution towards similar forms. Number 2. The Paraceratherium was a gigantic mammal, ranking among the largest land mammals ever to exist, surpassed in size only by the Paleoloxodon, or straight-tusked elephant. With a height of 24.5 feet and a length of 26 feet, not including its tail, it is estimated that it weighed around 15 tons. Paraceratheriums, being ceratomorphs, are related to modern rhinoceroses. Although unlike them, they did not have horns. These colossal animals appeared in Central Asia during the first half of the Oligocene epoch around 30 million years ago, and became extinct in the middle of the Miocene about 16.6 million years ago. Their long legs and neck allowed them to reach the highest leaves in the trees, much like giraffes today. In addition, their sturdy legs may have helped them defend against predators. Males were equipped with a reinforced concave skull, suggesting that they fought among themselves for females, similar to giraffes. Like modern rhinoceroses, their vision wasn't as developed as their sense of smell. In fact, their nasal passages were larger than their brain. Likewise, the size of their brain indicates they were likely not social animals like elephants, and therefore probably did not live in herds. As an interesting tidbit, it's worth mentioning that special effects creator Phil Tippett indicated that the Paraceratherium was the inspiration for the design of the AT-AT Imperial Walker vehicles depicted in the science fiction movie Star Wars. Number 3. The Andrewsarchus was a carnivorous mammal that lived in Central Asia during the late Eocene, between approximately 45 and 41 million years ago. The only fossil found of this species is a massive skull, lacking a jaw, discovered in June 1923 in the Gobi Desert in Mongolia. The skull measures 33 inches in length and 22 inches in width, leading to estimates that the animal could have been about 12.5 feet long from snout to pelvis, with a shoulder height of 6.2 feet. With these measurements, it is possible that it was the largest known terrestrial carnivorous mammal. The skull is about twice the size of a brown bear's, leading to an estimated weight of around 2,200 pounds. This weight is thought to be close to the practical limit for a terrestrial carnivorous mammal. considering food availability and metabolic requirements. In addition, it is believed that Andrewsarchus hunted large prey alone, although it may have also scavenged. Recent studies classify this fearsome mammal as a member of the artiodactyls, closely related to modern hippos and cetaceans. Number 4. The Myocetus was a cetacean belonging to the protocetid family. This animal measured about 8.5 feet in length and had an estimated weight between 620 and 860 pounds. The fossil remains that led to its discovery were found in Pakistan, where 2 specimens were uncovered. These were interpreted as a pregnant female and her fetus. The position of the fetus, oriented head first, suggests that these animals gave birth on land, as modern cetaceans, which spend their entire lives in water, generally give birth tail first, while terrestrial mammals give birth head first. However, these conclusions have been debated, as it has also been suggested that the smaller skeleton could represent partially digested food, not a fetus. Nonetheless, the idea that Myocetus could have given birth on land is not far-fetched, as it is believed this animal was amphibious, representing a transitional period when some terrestrial mammals returned to an aquatic environment. Additionally, the hip bones were strong, suggesting it could walk on land, but its short legs and flat toes would have hindered its agility on solid ground. Similarly, the flattened bones of the fingers and toes suggest that Myocetus had webbed feet adapted to aquatic life. Its large teeth, suitable for capturing and consuming fish, indicate that it lived in the sea but likely came ashore to mate, give birth, or rest. Therefore, it probably lived along the coasts, alternating between land and water, occupying an intermediate position in the evolutionary path that led whales to transition from land dwellers to sea inhabitants. Number 5. The kalenkin is an extinct species of bird from the family known as terror birds, and it is the largest known predatory bird in history. It lived during the Miocene epoch, about 15 million years ago, and its fossils were found in present-day Patagonia. This predator stood over 9 feet tall, and its head, including the beak, measured more than 27.5 inches in length, making it the bird with the largest known skull in history. It is believed that it could have weighed up to 350 pounds, a weight that made it incapable of flight, as demonstrated by the proportional size of its wings relative to its body mass. Despite its large size, it is thought to have been agile, capable of ambush hunting and pursuing rodents, reptiles, and small mammals. Some estimates suggest that adults could run at speeds of over 37 miles per hour, making it one of the dominant predators in its environment, and placing it at the top of the food chain in South America around 15 million years ago. Its name, kalenkin, was taken from the terrifying demon of Tehuelche mythology, an indigenous people of Patagonia. This mythological being, considered the bringer of pain and disease, has historically been depicted as a giant bird of prey, which is why the discoverers named the largest known terror bird after it. Number 6. The Gigantopithecus was a genus of enormous hominoid primates that lived in Southeast Asia. Although it was once believed that Gigantopithecus was a hominid, more recent studies suggest it was more closely related to orangutans than humans. Traditionally, they have been classified as large apes similar to gorillas, with an estimated weight between 440 and 660 pounds and a height of almost 8.8 feet. However, the scarcity of fossil remains makes size estimates speculative, as only teeth and jaw elements of this giant primate have been found. Among these remains, its molar teeth stand out as the largest known in any primate, and they have relatively flat surfaces, indicating it was an herbivore that fed on fruit, stems, roots, and tubers. These molars also show a similar rate of cavity formation to chimpanzees, approximately 11%, suggesting that fruit was a common part of its diet. This colossal primate primarily lived in tropical and subtropical forests and became extinct about 300,000 years ago, likely due to climate change, which caused a southward retreat of the forests, its main habitat, as a result of increasing seasonality and stronger monsoons, along with a trend toward cooling. It has also been speculated that the arrival of Homo erectus in the region could have contributed to its extinction. While hominids had been present in southern China for about 800,000 years, their increased activity in the area coincided with the extinction of Gigantopithecus around 300,000 years ago. This suggests that competition for resources or even hunting by early humans could have played a significant role in the extinction of this formidable species. Number 7. The Leviathan was an ancient species of cetacean that inhabited Earth's seas during the Miocene, approximately 9 to 8 million years ago. It is one of the largest predators known in history and had the strongest bite of any tetrapod ever found. To give you an idea, its skull measured about 10 feet long, and its total body length is estimated to have been between 44 and 57 feet. Additionally, the teeth of Leviathan measured up to 14 inches long, making them the longest teeth used for feeding or hunting of any known animal in history. Larger teeth or tusks exist, such as those of walruses, narwhals, or elephants, but these are not used for predation. Unlike the teeth of Leviathan, which were used to hunt, it is believed that with its large, deeply rooted teeth, Leviathan hunted substantial prey near the ocean's surface, such as baleen whales, sharks, seals, dolphins, and other large marine vertebrates. A top predator of its time, it coexisted with the gigantic megalodon, sharing the same habitat and competing for dominance at the top of the oceanic food chain, much like the orca does today. Number 8. The Joseph-Ortygasia manesi was a gigantic prehistoric rodent from the Pliocene epoch, and it is the largest fossil rodent ever found, with an astonishing estimated body mass of 2,200 pounds. It is believed to have lived between 4 and 2 million years ago in what is now Uruguay. This species measured approximately 8 feet long and 4 feet high, making it roughly the size of a car, with incisors almost 12 inches long. This remarkable rodent had a skull more than half a meter long, and according to scientists' estimates based on reconstructions of its primary muscles, it had a bite force in its incisors of around 180 pounds, comparable to that of many large carnivores. For comparison, a polar bear has a bite force of approximately 170 pounds. Despite its powerful bite, this colossal rodent was a herbivore, likely using its incisors to dig up roots or gnaw on hard objects like nuts or wood. It is believed to have fed predominantly on fruits and aquatic vegetation, and was likely well adapted to a semi-aquatic lifestyle, much like modern capybaras. Its closest living relative is the pacarana. Number 9. The Erythrosuchus was an extinct genus of reptile that lived during the Triassic period, primarily in what is now South Africa and Namibia. It was the largest predator of its time and is notable for its enormous skull, which measured up to 3.3 feet in length and was equipped with conical sharp teeth. It is estimated that its total body length was about 16.4 feet. It stood around 6.6 feet tall, and it weighed around 2 tons, rivaling the size of some large carnivorous dinosaurs despite being a reptile. It is believed to have walked on 4 legs, with its limbs positioned semi-vertically under its body, unlike the more sprawling posture typical of earlier reptiles. Additionally, some features of its ankle suggest it was beginning to adapt to a digitigrade posture, meaning it walked on its toes rather than its whole foot, similar to modern animals like dogs and cats. Erythrosuchus was probably a relatively slow-moving predator, though given the types of prey in its environment, speed may not have been a necessary advantage. It was likely capable of confronting the large herbivores with which it coexisted. While its anatomy may appear somewhat rudimentary by today's standards, its effectiveness as a predator was likely unquestionable. This incredible and massive reptile is striking not only for its disproportionately large skull, but also for its sharp teeth, presenting a form unlike anything that exists today, sparking wonder about how awe-inspiring these animals must have looked when alive. Number 10. The Yi-Chi, a name that can be translated as strange wing from Mandarin Chinese, was a species of gliding theropod dinosaur that lived during the Jurassic period. Its only known fossil was discovered in Hebei Province, China. This small, tree-dwelling dinosaur had an estimated weight of just 0.8 pounds. This extraordinary creature had an unusually elongated third finger that helped support a membranous wing. Additionally, the wings of Yi-Chi were supported by a long bone protruding from its wrist, making its wing structure unique among all known dinosaurs. This feature gave the wings a bat-like appearance, resembling those of pterosaurs in an example of convergent evolution, although it is more closely related to birds. Adding to its uniqueness, Yi-Chi was covered in feathers that extended across most of its body, almost reaching the tip of its snout. Although it's possible that Yi-Chi engaged in some form of active flight, the lack of evidence for large pectoral muscles and the structure of its bones suggest it was more likely a glider. Researchers who conducted the initial study of the only known specimen concluded that its flight capabilities remain uncertain. This surprising small dinosaur, with a feathered body, seems to have replaced the avian feathers typically associated with flight with wing membranes, a curious evolutionary experiment. It's one of the many independent trials of flight that occurred at the dawn of bird evolution. With this fascinating small dinosaur, we conclude our video today from Via Doctus. If you enjoyed the video, don't forget to give it a like and subscribe to the channel. Thank you for watching, and we'll see you in the next one.